If there's one thing I like to do, it's sing the praises of the boys. I like the company and the banter a gang of lads can generate, especially when you live with them. But there's one thing that women will almost always have a leg up on us blokes for, and that is presentation. They look better, they smell better, and they can keep their house absolutely spotless. Men, on the other hand, not so much. One of the biggest weak points in living with the boys is cleanliness. And me and the boys were 3 lads living together, none of which were overly fond of cleaning. So needless to say, on a normal day, the place was like ground zero. There'd be half-empty beer bottles filled with fag butts all over the place, bins overflowing onto the floor in the kitchen, and warning letters from the UN piled up in the hallway because neighbouring countries were starting to complain about the smell. It was a mess. But we weren't completely irresponsible slobs. Give us fellas some credit. We would actually get up off our fat arses and clean the place every 6 to 8 months. But the problem was the place would get so dirty that when we'd finally go to clean it, it would take us hours to get the place looking somewhat presentable. So by the time we were done, we'd feel like we've earned ourselves a drink. So we'd promptly round up the boys for a few drinks at the house, completely undoing half the cleaning we've just done, head to the pub, wobble home and finish off wrecking the place before heading to bed. A trashing the house technique we called the double tap. But one night really took the biscuit. And of course, this video is brought to you by the Ridge Wallet. The Ridge Wallet is a gorgeous, sleek and industrial wallet that cuts down on unwanted shite in your pockets and ensuring you're always carrying the essentials. This bad boy is RFID blocking, holds up to 12 cards with your choice of money clip or cash strap for cash, and comes in 30 colours and styles from camouflage all the way to my favourite, the carbon fibre. Ridge started out as a successful Kickstarter and these days boasts over 30,000 5-star reviews. It's extremely durable. I've been using my one full time for about 6 weeks now and there isn't even a scratch on it, and I haven't even been careful. But even so, it still comes with a lifetime warranty, and the gents over at Ridge will let you test drive it for 45 days and you can send it back for a full refund if you don't like it. They also do bags, phone cases and a wide variety of other accessories if you fancy a look. You can get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by going to ridge.com/ducky. That's ridge.com/ducky. Link is in the description. So we had just finished our biannual cleaning day and the place was looking absolutely smashing. I swear to God, we've never seen the place look so clean since the day we moved in. It was glorious. Like one of them times where you do a proper deep clean and start finding stuff you hadn't seen in years. Hey look, my old beanie. Yes, my copy of Tomb Raider. Awesome, my happiness. Oh. Wait, no, it's just a stale fanny biscuit. So to celebrate, we rounded up the boys and a scatter of booze and had a pretty messy night. We knew it was going to be a pretty mental night when we kicked off the pre-game with a game of Kings. It's a drinking game. And it resulted in Connor having to down a pint that was 1 part beer, 1 part Guinness and 2 parts Jägermeister. Thankfully for his own health, he correctly predicted that it wouldn't stay down. So he chugged it in the downstairs bathroom and immediately threw it back up. Now I know what some of you are thinking, why did he even down it if he was just going to throw it straight back up? And I'll say is because those are the rules. You lose, you down the chalice. Whether you keep it down or not is neither here nor there. You made an oath with the lads when you agreed to play, so you need to fulfill that oath or the god of brotherhood will step in and curse you with whiskey dick the next time you pull a bird. Sufficiently sauced up, me and the boys headed to the club and wandered back home at around 2 AM with a new addition we bumped into in the club. Lara. We knew her well enough as she worked with a couple of little lads and would often join us in the odd session. So back in the door, the boozing continued. The tunes were bopping and the banter was being had. The crack was 90 as us paddies love to say, but unfortunately I had work the next morning and my manager at the time was an insufferable cunt to tolerate when I had a clear head, much less a hangover. So I said goodnight to everybody there and headed to bed, leaving the lads to party on until the early hours. So something wakes me up. I haven't opened my eyes yet, but I'm getting the distinct smell of warm cigarettes and alcohol, and it's been blown in my face. I open my eyes to find that I'm staring at a sleeping man directly in the face. Now, I had the wherewithal to know that it wasn't Gay Tuesday, so there really shouldn't be a man in my bed today. I jump out of the bed to try gather my thoughts from my foggy mind. How drunk was I last night? I vaguely remember going to bed, but I don't remember f***ing a man. I lean in for a better look and realise it's Tony. Oh, thank God. It's nobody I respect. Now, I'm still baffled as to why there's a man in my bed. Like I was thinking maybe there wasn't any place for him to drop down for a kip when the party ended. But that didn't make any sense because in that situation you'd top and tail with somebody. You don't just jump into the bed and give one of the boys a nice spooning. That's pretty gay. But the mysteries don't end there as I head down the stairs to get a drink of water and assess the damage. Connor was passed out on the couch cuddling Dilbo Baggins. There was empty bottles and stains everywhere and there was broken ceramic and fag ash all over the floor. That place was sufficiently fucked. But the next mystery occurred when I went to use the downstairs bathroom, only to find the door is locked. I knocked, but there was no answer and I couldn't hear anybody behind the door. Thinking someone might have pulled a Ducky and fallen asleep on the toilet, I decided to do a head count and see who might be in there. So Connor and Tony were accounted for, as were PJ and Hef when I checked in their room for him. So that just left one person. Lara. Well, shit. Now I gotta see if I can find a spare key for the bathroom. And even so, I could open the door and she could be half naked and it'll be pure awkward, or worse, she could be dead, or worse again, she could be covered in shit, vomit, naked, and dead. But while I was looking for the key, the doorbell went. And who was at the door? Only Lara. Oh, well that's a relief. But the whole exchange with her just adds to my confusion. She looks at me with her eyes half welled up in tears and frantically says,
I'm sorry I'm in a hurry, but look, I know there's no replacing it. I know how much it must have meant to you, and I'm really sorry I didn't mean to do it. It was an accident, and I know there's no good excuse, and it doesn't bring it back, but please don't hate me. I'm so sorry. This won't come close to making up for it, but I didn't know what else to do, so here.
Then she hands me an ashtray and runs off to her car and takes off. What the fuck is going on today? But I can't hang around and get answers because now I have to go to work. So I spend a solid 9 hours in work totally baffled by the morning's events. I can't make sense of it. Why was Tony trying to get in my pants? Who locked the downstairs bathroom? And why in God's name did she hand me an ashtray of all things? What does it all mean? Thankfully, when I got home, all the boys were still there having a post-house party chill session. So greasy food, movies and shy talk to help chase away the fear. That's the term us Irish people use for that feeling of dread and fear you feel the day after heavy drinking. Of course, I had a few pressing things to say and ask, starting with the most important one. You keep your gay arse out of my bed, Tony. If you want a service, you call your girlfriend. I ain't no €5 tart you can cuddle when you're feeling needy. When you come into this house, you keep that dirty d*** to yourself, goddammit, Tony. So I sat down and got filled in on all the shenanigans from the previous night, and things finally started to make sense. So what happened was, Lara got super drunk and threw up in the downstairs toilet, used tissue to wipe her mouth, and then threw up again, and then wiped her mouth again with tissue, and then threw up again. And because she wasn't flushing as she was going, basically stacked some sort of vomit and tissue lasagna so dense that it blocked the toilet. Once she was done, Hef locked the downstairs bathroom so people would stop adding more fluids to it because we'd have to deal with that in like 6 months. This also somewhat explained why Tony ended up in my bed. He was exceptionally sauced too and had fallen asleep on the armchair, but he'd woken up some point during the night to use the downstairs bathroom, couldn't because it was locked, used the one upstairs, and because he was so drunk and my room was next to the upstairs bathroom, he decided to just wander in his confusion and pass out in my bed, somehow not realising I was in it. Yeah, that still has holes in it, I know, but it's a better explanation to what I was thinking, so I didn't press it. So it was all making sense, except for one last thing. So I explained to the lads about Lara calling this morning and being all weird and apologetic and handing me an ashtray before running away. Then suddenly, the place erupts in laughter. The boys are in absolute bits, red face and struggling for air through the pain of a lingering hangover. As soon as they all stop laughing and everything settles back down, PJ finally explains it to me. So last night before Lara was totally smashed, she accidentally knocked over and broke our ashtray, which was actually a little glass ornament vase thing that was there when we moved into the house that we just started to use as an ashtray. But when she knocked it over, without missing a beat, PJ jumped to his feet and said, "Oh no, not Ducky's dead mother's ashtray." And she was like,
Yeah, right.
but picking up on the joke, all the lads piled onto it.
Oh my God, that's the only thing she left to him. Lads, come on, you're not being serious.
Oh my God, Larry, you have no idea what you've just done.
Oh no, lads, really?
Oh crap, he's going to be absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that's all he had to remember her. She had a morbid fear of having her photo taken. Oh no, lads. I'm so sorry, lads. This is a disaster.
Now, of course, they were all just winding her up for a bit of fun. As I said, that thing was there when we moved in, and my mother wasn't actually dead at the time. But as I was told already, she got way too drunk and decided to get her mother to collect her and take her home, so nobody actually told her that they were joking. Meaning, when she woke up the next morning, she thought not only had she fucked up our toilet, but she had also broken a cherished, irreplaceable family heirloom, and then spent the better part of a morning trying to source a replacement and trying to build up the courage to talk to me about it. To this day, we're not 100% sure if she still believes it. Me and the boys always had a darker sense of humour with things, and she was a bit more innocent, and I don't think anyone ever told her outright that it was a joke. I think her forever living in a mental grey area, never being quite sure, made it even funnier, and we only ever really saw her now and again anyway. It was about a year or so later when we would be drinking with her again, so it was the perfect time to tell her it was a joke. But rather hilariously, at this party, she decides to sit on one of our dodgy kitchen chairs. You know, the ones everyone's had before in their house. It's the one that everyone avoids because it's just ready to collapse if you so much as look at it. Well, she sat on that, and immediately the leg fell off and the chair collapsed, and without missing a beat, PJ jumps to his feet and shouts, "Oh no, not Ducky's dead father's chair."